okay, it has to be feeling because if.
But you're wasting your resources as you're doing that.
No.
No.
You're not wasting. You're investing.
You're investing, but also
what you want, yeah. We just chillin' by the Wawas, lemonade with the large fries. Puff twice for the calm high, ayy, what you want, yeah. Big checks make the bank bounce. Old school candy paint down. Bad chicks, they from down south, ayy, what you want, yeah.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, BQ Quick Review. I'm your host, BQ, and today we are going to be talking about the infamous Godfather Kevin Samuels, and we are going to be giving our inputs on him.
Your dress size.
So, we have Young here, returning guest, and we also have Hustle here, another returning guest. And you tell us what you know a little bit about him, because I've showed him a little bit about, so it's like he's watched a little bit, he's watched a medium about it. I'm a religious watcher.
This is gonna be like a long-winded explanation. Basically, when you showed me him, right, he's this guy who I guess he's a self-proclaimed realist, and he tries to help people with their relationship advice or just different things in life, and especially people that like are in denial of like their situation. Now, funny enough, not to name names, like there was this person in my job, right? And it fit the perfect description. And I even spoke to her about it. Because he hates nurses. He hates people that are older, that are looking for guys who are younger and successful and all of these things. But he has some great points. But I feel like he's a bit too harsh, but it is what it is. I guess they call him, so they must validate his opinion by giving him the attention.
What about you?
Yeah, this man's been a cause of like a lot of drama. I like his content. I don't agree with everything he says, but I definitely feel like it's great to watch if you're trying to learn about relationships. I think it's I think the place he's speaking from, I can't tell if it's biased or non-biased, but what I will say is if you want to know about relationships, you should pay attention to a man's opinion, a woman's opinion, and just listen to a variety of sources so you got, a realistic scope. And also don't be so impressionable, have your own thought process before going into this.
Yeah, so I watch him regularly, so obviously I love this guy. This guy makes good content to me. I agree with him, not with every point, but I probably agree with him like probably 95% of the time. My thing is, he can be harsh. That's one thing I can say. He can be harsh, but I'd rather the harsh truth than a sweet lie for me. So that goes into my first question. Do you feel like he is honest? Is he telling the truth?
I think everybody has their own truth. So I feel like he's honest with what he believes, but obviously most of what he says is subjective, whether it be, it could be relatable, like when you tell somebody, you're older with a kid and you want this, that's not realistic. It's very true, and it's hard to hear from somebody because, there are instances where people get luck up and they get the person they want, but it's simply luck, it's simply timing. It's not always the case, and for people that are like getting older and pickier, I feel like he's very healthy for those. He's necessary for people like that they're not accepting the reality of things, and they say age is just a number. Well, I feel like there's a certain time where you gotta get going. And
what do you think that time is? When do you think is the age range for a woman to get going and get themselves marriage ready or in a healthy relationship?
Definitely in her mid-20s to late 20s. Because by the time you get to that age where you're ready to settle down, you want to at least have established, some kind of relationship with somebody, maybe outlive with each other for a year or two. So around that period of time, in your early 20s, you want to, enjoy life and things like that, do whatever you like. But a lot of the time, these people, like, they have these high expectations, or they have scarred or whatever they have for whatever reason, that they put off you know, blessings or different relationships for small things, and then they end up 30 something, no one, and scrambling to find whatever's left in the field.
Okay, all right. So what do you think about that?
What was the question?
So the question is, do you think that he is like too harsh?
Oh, too harsh?
Yeah.
I thought you asked if he was being honest.
Yeah, if he's being honest, he's harsh, but you think he's being honest
Yeah, I
with
think he's
time?
being honest from his perspective, kind of like Young Forever said. Yeah,
Pretty much it. And when do you think is the appropriate time for a woman to try to, if they want to have a healthy relationship for their life going towards the end? What time period or time frame is good for them?
I think it varies because it depends on when each individual is different. You know, a lot of times you could put a specific age on a situation, but that doesn't mark a person's growth or where they at. I think when you spend time working on yourself and you feel internally ready to join somebody into your cipher, that's not an age thing. I think that's a spiritual and internal work. If you're doing the work, there's no specific age, but you only know when you're ready for that type of relationship.
Yeah, but I feel like, well, there's no age. You know, you can say that, but like, there is a cutoff age of getting desirable people. Like, you gotta think about it. If let's say you're 40, whatever, for instance, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna be heavily in the market the same way you would be at 25. You're just you have way more to offer, like, and we're not just talking about financially. You have way more to offer emotionally, physically, all types of things. And I feel like people put off things for way too long, and they think it's when I'm ready. But when you're early, you know, things happen when they happen. You don't say, oh, I'm not. If you feel like the vibe is going good, if you feel like it's going in the right direction, why not just try to have something successful, build something with someone, you know?
That's funny that you brought up that point because you haven't watched much of him, but most of the things that you just said is what he's putting out there, and he gets a lot of backlash from people. So
there's a lot of 40-year-old people.
Yeah, he does get a lot of
35-year-old
backlash.
people. There's a lot of people with kids already that no one wants to deal with your kid.
Yeah, but that's no.
I think it depends. Like I said, it's what I'll say is if you're playing statistics, it's less likely. You know, as you get older and older, and we're speaking, you know, from a woman's perspective, like, you know, being a woman, yeah, you probably have less viable options depending on if you're taking care of yourself or not. Because ultimately, the first thing, you know, age is one thing, but not everybody who's 40 doesn't look good. There's some 40-year-olds who look 30. And I think, obviously, you'll have less options in some ways, maybe. But I think that depends on if you're playing a short or long game in terms of creating value. What do you want? Now, if you're talking you want a relationship and you want kids, then there's a certain age where you have to start thinking about. But if kids aren't the specific thing on your mind, then there's no age constriction on dating. I think you have less options over time, depending on how you're creating value for yourself as a person. Because I had a friend say this to me, and I feel like, you know, nobody talks about this, but value isn't always tangible. I think what people bring or offer into your life sometimes, there's no way to really say that. Like, it's not because they have money. It's not because they have jewelry. It's not because they're a certain age or anything. When you feel a certain way about somebody, that's intangible. There's no way of putting that value because only you may value somebody differently than anybody else does. So that's just my opinion.
Okay, I like that point too.
My friend Ariel, like, she said that Ariel Mercado, she said that to me, like, value is intangible, and I thought about that. In a lot of ways, it isn't.
Yeah, because I think with the reason why I gravitated towards him is because even going on that point, I think the problem with a lot of women today is they only, which he says a lot, they only view men as a wallet and a dick.
and
that's what he's trying to say, that men bring more value than that.
There's a specific type of woman, and it's a specific type of standard. And this is what I talk about as the push for independence of women increases. Why are the traditional values that are outdated still pushed? You know what I mean? The guy has to pay for all of this and that and a third. To me, it's like you can't ask for equality, but then fall back on values that at a time were during inequality between sexes. So I feel like that's also an issue, like you said. But like touching on what he said about value is intangible, but it's also expendable. It can also be devalued. Like value can dwindle. All of these things happen in relationships regardless. But what I'm saying is, all of those things that you want to share with someone in a relationship, as far as monogamy, it's better to have it earlier, where you can build with someone rather than you have a finished product that's stubborn and set in their ways, or because a relationship is always about compromise. And as you get older, you stop compromising on certain things. You're set in your ways. Of course, people like you said before, there's people that are different, but luck, you're running on a game of luck. So that's why I feel like it is a timely thing, because you want to establish something. You can't establish something at such a late time in life.
I'm gonna disagree with that, but I definitely hear your point. Like, starting earlier, it could be beneficial, but like I don't believe there's a specific age on anything in general. Like, you feel me? There's people. Has nothing to do with love, but there's people who become millionaires when they're 50, and you can always re-establish yourself or recreate value in your life in different ways. We evolve so many times as humans, so I don't think there's a specific age for that, but I can see the benefit in starting earlier. And I think, to your other point, with the as far as like equality and also traditional roles, I think on both ends of the spectrum, I think people want things traditionally, and we're not living in traditional times anymore. Like, from a financial standpoint, like,
that brings
there's
me
not
to
inflation.
too.
There's inflation, and also you got to think about the point. Like, I feel like I don't fall for the rope-a-dope, because at the end of the day, whether it's men or women, they're gonna try to date in ways that benefit their agenda. So it's a certain type of woman that has that agenda, and a lot of times, some of those women are desirable for certain reasons. But I think it depends what type of woman you value or what type of woman you want, and you just gotta pay attention to values, because I know I'm not going for certain things like that, for example, but somebody else might. So that's the problem. Like, there's too many simps out here. That's the word. They're enabling. This mindset, but
that's another topic. But
All right,
so so along his show, he makes phone calls to a lot of women call in,
right,
and they ask for this high value man. They want this traditional man who pays all the bills and everything and takes care of them, and they got to be 6 foot and all these requirements. They want the traditional lifestyle, but are the women that want the traditional lifestyle traditional women? Do you think that they are nowadays, the modern woman?
Well, I feel like a lot of these people are successful women, and the same thing goes with successful men. I feel like the difference between a successful woman and man, a successful woman always looks at what she has can be taken from another man that she's with. Whereas a man looks at it as he wants someone he can control or have power over. As far as like, as history shows it, because a lot of the time rich men look for young women who can upkeep the house, have good upkeep, like deal with children while they're away and stuff like that. Where you got women who are so reluctant with men because they automatically assume if a man has lesser income than them, that they they're susceptible to be used. And you know, I was at work the other day, and they were saying this. They're like, "Oh, these are not the kind of guys you would go for." I'm like, and she's naming things. One of which where I was, what I do as work, and I'm like, what a man does as his job and his mindset are two different things. You have men that are rich, that they have $100, they'll give you 20 of that and say to pay them back. You have men that they work hard, they on their last $20 bill, they'll give you the whole $20 bill. I feel like a mindset, no matter how rich you are, is going to be the mindset. So for them to say that, it's so toxic, and it's like there should be a space for successful women and men who do less than them, like who make less than them rather, who are the breadwinners. But the stigma is so bad that now men have a chip on their shoulder, or they feel a way about it because they're like, damn, my girl makes more than me. You know, like I don't really want too much people to know that, or I don't want her to feel like she's buying me, doing everything for me. So it's like, it's very toxic, and it makes it a toxic situation, like, because of the stigma.
I kind of think that with that one point, I kind of disagree, because I think a lot of women think that just the blue collar workforce, I think they look down upon those men, and they be like, if you're not at my level, then I can do bad all by myself. And I think that this is the type of generation that we are. Not always, but in mass.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So okay.
No,
so,
I said, okay. So she's named blue collar jobs. So when I work as I do, you know, I do what I do.
So do you think the modern woman is traditional or no?
Okay, so like I said,
Just yes or no.
Then I'll let Pook get in. You said, is the modern woman traditional?
Yeah. Are they traditional?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's what.
Absolutely not. That's
okay.
what I was saying. You have an age of individualism and independence for women, right? More than ever. There's so much things you can do as a woman that, and don't get me wrong, there's always gonna be obstacles, but there's so much more opportunity, even for women without talent, without sense of direction. Like he said with Sims, there's always opportunity for women to prosper now. So for you to then think like that, I want to be an individual, but not also keep in mind that you have to do what is traditional as well if you want someone who's going to, you know, deal with you traditionally. It's kind of like, what do you want? You're confusing. You're not even sure about yourself. So how can I be sure about you?
Okay. A modern woman traditional?
Some are, but not really, because we're not living in traditional times right now. Things are changing, like technology, but really because of inflation, there's not too many traditional women. But there are traditional women. It's just like not in.
Do you think that's majority? Yeah.
But
I believe majority-wise, no, we don't have majority.
I think there is.
I think there's a lot of them, but I don't think it's the majority anymore.
I don't think so.
I feel like
I don't think so.
I feel like I feel like to a certain extent there is, because a lot of women nowadays, they will take a man that does everything for them, and they'll make and in doing that, he's able to get away with like
murder.
Yeah, like as far as like for instance, I just had a child, and I don't take days off from my child. I don't go away from a child all the time and stuff like that for long periods of time, all the time, you know, and call it a woman's job. It's not a woman's. We work as a team, right? But when you have a traditional woman, she's the head of the house. She keeps the house, you know, going, and she takes care of the kid, and she's at least as history says. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but there's a lot of women willing to do that as long as they're being taken care of, and that's why you have, and that's why you have a lot of men who are here. They want a woman that doesn't have that same motivation because it intimidates them. It's like, how could I ask this person to do something when we're on the same level? It's just
Yeah. I think that plays into like, you know, I think, you know, one thing I do like about the non-traditional idea of relationships is that, like what you said, the household can become a lot more balanced if we're playing multiple roles, because no woman that's a mother is gonna feel like, not to say that, you know, you're always gonna be the mother, but you're not gonna always feel like handling the child every single
Absolutely.
day. So imagine that type of burdening or holding that type of weight. The cool part of now is, I mean, not to say it wasn't happening before, but I feel like now, because
there was an issue in
it's,
that.
it's non-traditional. I think, you know, people put so much energy on masculine and feminine, and I think when you think about it, we both have parts of that in us, and we both have to balance it out when there's certain times. There's gonna be certain times where a woman has to get things done, or a woman has to push us. There's gonna be times where we have to do that for our woman. That's what I like about, you know, less traditional relationships, like, you know, or non-traditional. I think the household can become more balanced in certain ways, you know.
50-50.
Not even 50-50 alone. Like somebody said this, sometimes it goes from 50-50, sometimes it goes 70-30, sometimes it goes 90-10. But the thing is, as long as it's happening when it's needed for the relationship to be successful, because there's going to be times where, let's say you're an artist, like, you feel me, you may be on tour. You're not going to be able to be around your kid as much as you want to.
That's
and
true.
That's where she has to kick it in and switch it. But there's going to be times where, let's say she wants to go on a solo vacation. You'll have to flip it the other way. And I think that's very important now that, like, you know, that the weight or the emotional labor of a relationship that is able to, you know, you're able to, you know, be, I guess, you know, what they say, what is it?
I think both of your points sound good, but I have to disagree with most of them, because with the reality that I'm seeing is that most women, they want...
You're like Stephen A.
They
And we're like Max Kellerman. It's like, I disagree with you, and here's why. Right.
Well, yeah, I like most women in terms of like just from what I see too out in the world, also for what calls into his show.
Yeah.
They all want the same type of man, and there's only a finite amount of that type of man. There's only a certain percentage of that type of man, and almost 100% of women want that same man. And I think that is the problem that we're having nowadays, especially with social media, where a lot of stuff is inflated, where, you know, most men aren't making what the top 10% of men are making.
Yeah.
I think that's what Kevin Samuels is highlighting. He's trying to say that he's using the top 10, the high value man, as a catch. Like, women are calling in to say, oh, I want this high value man. He's saying, okay, do you qualify for it? But he's trying to show that, do you qualify for it? And is that even right for you? And also, he's trying to say that the average man is a catch also.
Yeah, I
think that's what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
But often, I think it gets when people put like small clips of him out there, his words can get misconstrued and stuff.
Context is everything, but
yeah.
So to disagree with your point, you gotta remember that, like, the women that call into his show are not all women. There's a certain type of woman or demographic that's going to be attracted to his content, because when you think about it, it's marketing. It's marketing. He's catering to the type of woman, and not catering, but he's attracting that type of woman because that's what she wants. Not all women want that. That's not all women's priority. So you can't base the whole spectrum of dating around the type of woman that call into the show.
Well,
you can base a percentage.
No, I'm basing this off of what I see and that.
But but the people that are on the show, right?
Yeah.
They're older women, right?
Yeah.
But
not always.
Not always.
no, I'm saying older as far as like, okay, and that's not because it's not really older. Okay, getting in their 30s and 35, 40-ish area, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
And then you got some that are younger, maybe sometimes, right? Again,
They span from all different ages.
Yeah.
This is not
There's
just
no specific
older
Well,
ages. All
based
different
on what we're
ages.
talking about.
Yeah.
The whole thing about it is, if your mindset is stuck on that, then you will become that age, and you will become that same person from when you're 18 right now, right? You'll become that same person, 35, 38, looking for somebody saying, "Oh, I don't understand why I didn't get Mr. Right."
That's the
That
point.
is
That's
that
the point.
is that is the demographic that he's attracting. Is really the woman. A lot of young women who don't want to become that woman, and then a lot of women who are that woman and can't understand why they are that woman because, you know, it's tough. Like if you know. Part of it is also, you know, you watch Disney movies and the way women were marketed to from very young. Everybody wants a prince, essentially. You don't realize that in the kingdom, there's only one prince. So,
do you think it's do you think it's right for them to feel like they're dating down if they're dating someone that is equal income and below, rather than dating the top 10%?
I think that's very. I think that's wrong. I think it's very egotistical, but it also depends on what you value. If the only thing you value is money, then essentially you're not even seeing the person. You're seeing what they're making. So from that standpoint, okay.
But it always seems to come down to that, right? What are 90% of arguments in households with, you know, really partnerships like that? It's money.
Just
but,
one
but
fact.
that's that type of woman. Once again, you feel me? Money does cause problems, but I think when you in a relationship with a woman
So
who's
this
not
is a good
focused
question.
on that
That's-
alone, you're always gonna find a way to work it out because she loves you. You feel me? If you didn't have a job for a moment, she would not stop loving you. She
So
would
this
help
is a
you
question.
get back on your feet sometimes.
What majority of women do you think a majority of women are like that? Give me like a percentage wise if you had to just guess.
Like what specifically?
What majority of women want the top 10% of men?
I don't think that's.
That's very tough to say because I don't know a woman, so it's like me. But what I'll say from my experience at least, I'd say a third of women. I'd say a third, and somewhere in between a third and a half of women. That at least, you know.
About 35, 40%.
I think it's actually 2/3, and I'll say why. There's a third that are openly saying they want that. And then there's the other third that are saying, "Oh, I'm not looking for that," but in reality, they come to the realization by how picky they are or how they are looking at or experiencing, you know, the average guy or below that. They're like, "Oh, no, forget it, I want that." And some of them are in denial, just like men. Everybody's in denial about what they want. Right?
Very important, very important.
And you know, it's sometimes you get, like I said, for me in my relationship, and I always attribute it, not that luck is an actual thing, but it's pretty much what it is. It's like sometimes you find somebody you're compatible with at a right time in your life, or in a time where you're willing to make that step. And that's not common, and that's the issue that people. That certain people have, like, that's the other theory that says, no, you can find someone average and you have to build together. But what happens is you have a relationship where you find someone average, you try to build together, it doesn't work out because, like I said, money problems or resentment built from having kids and him being too busy or she being too busy, or there's a lot of different aspects that then make a woman be like, you know, I think I need somebody who can provide more. And sometimes it's not openly like they're just like, again, it's a denial thing. It's like at the end of the day, people want to be able to use the person they're with. I'm not saying that in a negative way. We all use each other in relationships, whether it be for small things or big things. Everything is a use. We can use each other for entertainment. We use each other for advice. We use each other for comfort. So once you start slowly losing something significantly, like as far as financially, that can hinder other things. Like relationships physically can be messed up from financial problems. We just had an argument, stressed out. I don't even want to deal with that person. That person didn't make me feel like I had use. So why would I want to deal with that person? So it's different things that attribute to it. But like I said, 2/3 for sure.
So most marriages end because of financial reasons, statistically. So it's like I could see where I think, but I think the majority of women may say they don't want this man, but they want that top 10% of people, because that's what that's what they flock to. Now, the problem is, you gotta debate whether you want to do that and build with a person. I think that is the one thing you can do, or if you want to go for that top person and that everybody's trying to get. But yeah, let me go to the next question, because I don't want this to be too long for you guys. Thanks for sticking around and everything. But so just tell me whether you agree or disagree. Should a woman go on a date 2 to 3 times knowing that they're not going to have sex with the person, or not sure if they're not going to have sex with the person?
I don't care what you do in life, you should never waste someone's time. You shouldn't waste, and by someone I mean their time or your time, because time in a human's life is not guaranteed. So at any point you should not waste you or the person's time. So definitely.
Is it okay for a woman to go on 2 to 3 dates with a guy without having sex with him?
That was the question?
Yes, that was.
Oh, I thought like knowing you're never gonna have sex with them.
Without knowing you're gonna have sex with them, pretty much.
Like there's a chance to still have sex, but just they're already saying, okay, the first 3 times I won't.
So should
Ask the question.
So yeah, should a woman go on a date with a guy more than a woman shouldn't go on a date with a guy more than 3 times without knowing they're going to have sex with them.
But after that point, they can come to the realization they want to have sex with them.
You don't know. So basically, let me elaborate.
Okay, no, I get you. So yes, so I disagree, yeah, for sure, because at the end of the day, attraction doesn't have and this is a problem with a lot of people. They try to time everything. In this many years I have to do this, in this many years I have to do that. That's not organic. You're supposed to build something and do things as you feel, as it goes along.
So you're taking a woman out on multiple dates without them having sex with you?
If it's not the time, if it's not organic, but if they've already made it up in their mind, then they're just posing. No, but I'm saying that's why I'm saying I disagree with it. If you as a woman in your head already said I'm not having sex, what you're doing is you're posing. You're posing as, because you're trying to make yourself make an impression that you're someone that has dignity, holds out, and it's hard to get. But that's not how life works when it's organic. When something's organic and you want to do it, you say, you know what, I'm going to do it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Because what if you wait 2 weeks and you had to hung up for 2 weeks, you finally had sex, and it's like, damn, this wasn't good. you wasted your time. Or he leaves you anyway. He was just patient. You know what I mean? So you're just gonna, regardless, you get a. Of course, if you're just organically like, I just want to fill this out and see how it goes, and then I'll make my decision. Of course, do that. That's organic. You gotta go with your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts. But to already have made that up, that's posing. You're posing as someone you're not.
Okay. So women should repeat the question one last time, just to make it clear for everybody. So women shouldn't go on a second date with a guy if he's not second. Should woman go on a second date with a guy if she's not sexually attracted to him?
No, that's a waste of the person's time. Like I said.
Okay. And for you?
It's tough to say because really, I think I'd say I disagree with that. I think now if you going on a date in general, like not even a first or a second or whatever date, but let's say you're going on a first date and you're not genuinely interested in a person, then I feel like that's a problem. Like if you're going on dates with a person, if you go on a first date and you're not, you're not romantically, you don't feel any type of romantic feelings, then it doesn't make sense to do a follow-up date unless that follow-up date is to confirm that feeling. Because sometimes you can get off to an awkward time. Somebody you met for the first time. But yeah, I can't say it's a case-by-case basis because sometimes it takes more than 3 days to get to know somebody, and it depends how.
No, those dates can be spread out amongst time.
Yeah,
like back to back to back.
Okay, yeah, I think
Wasting someone's time. You're wasting someone's time, and that's the worst thing you could do.
I think in my opinion, it varies because I mean it depends on how it goes. But I mean, if you're genuinely interested or curious in this person, and maybe you're not ready to have sex, then that's fine to me. I think as long as you're genuinely interested or romantically curious, because different people have different philosophies on sex in general, and it's a very powerful thing, I think it depends on how you regard the whole sex. I'm not gonna say my personal how I would, handle this situation, but I think it could, I think it could go either way. I think the most important thing is if you're genuinely interested in the person during the time of going on dates with them. If you're literally going on dates just because you have nothing better to do or you're just passing time, then you're wasting the person's time. I think if you're genuinely curious, then I think it's cool to explore, even if it goes to 3 dates. I think by
after the third, you think after the third day. So when?
Yeah, and it's a feeling.
Yeah, I can't say. That's why I say I can't say a specific date.
The
feeling.
You can deal with someone for 2 months and then be like, you know what? I've tried. I'm not feeling it. But the minute you don't feel it, then cut it off. Now you were talking about, you touched on it, Pook, about how people view sex, right? But that's your code that you live by. That's different. If you're saying a girl's like, I'm not gonna have sex with you just because I'm not attracted to you, that's not a code. That's you, and then you're going on another date, you're wasting a person's time. Now, if you're saying, I'm not gonna have sex until we're married or we move in or something like that, that's just something you live by. You give that to everybody.
That's what I said.
That's basically what you're saying. That's basically what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So with I have to like pretty much disagree because here's the thing. When you're going out on a date, and this is just from a man's perspective, you're putting into an investment of your time and your resources. A woman's investment is their time and their body, whatever way you want to put it. But
I think it goes both ways. You don't think so?
Yeah, but it goes both ways. But that's a woman's investment because we don't look at a woman's resources too much. So my thing is, if you're going on one,
give my penis away to everybody. You're trying to save your old dogs here on the table? We're not.
No, but I'm trying to say, you're going on, remember, those dates, you're spending time and resources. So 1, 2, 3 dates. Not like, I'm not just talking about just talking to them. I'm talking going out, taking them to dinner, or doing whatever.
So what's your disagreement?
So my disagreement is, I don't think that, women should go out with a guy after the first date if they're not sexually attracted to them, because you're wasting their time. When you first meet a woman, you're attracted to them. The end goal, yes, you want to have sex with them and everything, and then comes you want to see their personality and everything. The first thing is physical attraction, but
what
after
was the disagreement?
No, I'm disagreeing with what he said.
What did you disagree with?
I don't think.
No, what did he say that you disagreed with?
That it could come anytime and just a feeling. That's fine, but if you're going out on dates 1, 2, 3 times, then.
Okay, it has to be feeling, because if.
But you're wasting your resources as you're doing it.
No.
No.
You're not wasting. You're investing.
You're investing, but also this plays in.
Investing.
Let me tell you this. This plays into how you should be as a man more so than how women are playing the game. You feel me? Each woman is different. Some women, like I said, the most important thing is if you're going on a date, you should be genuinely curious in a person. Genuinely curious doesn't always mean you have to have sex. You have to be comfortable enough with a person to want to have sex with them. You don't know this person from anywhere. Me meeting you 3 times alone in person and giving you my body, I have to have the feeling to make me say I trust this person enough to give away my temple. Now I think this plays into, okay, how much time and money do you want to invest into dating? It's not for women. Women are always gonna play their game. I feel like men need to play theirs. First date, you don't need to go to a dinner. You can go to a park, you can go eat ice cream. Do things that you don't have to spend a lot of money and you can actually get to know someone.
Because, like you just said, if you decide that what you do in those 3 dates make sex obligatory, then you're essentially saying that you're paying for sex. You're not paying for sex. All that time and money you're spending is to have a good time for both of you. It's not where we're on agreement is that if a woman already has in her mind that she has no attraction, because sex, if you don't want to have sex with someone, it's usually because of attraction. You're not attracted. So why waste any more time?
That's what I'm saying.
But if you're talking about, we went on 3 dates, you owe me some pussy. That's not true.
No, that's not it.
That's how it sounded.
That's how it sounded.
That's not what I'm saying.
But that's how it sounded.
I'm saying on it. Okay, even on that argument, why would you go on a date with somebody 2 to 3 more times if you're not sexually attracted to them?
Right. We're all in agreement on that.
Why would you do that?
That's a good point.
Why would you do that?
We agree with that.
Because, and this is a lot of the newer people, newer women.
I'm not saying.
I agree. That point,
they are attracted to experiences. Girls literally go out with no money in their pocket and have a great time. You can't go out as no guy. I'm just being honest.
That's
go
facts.
Walk into a club and have a good time. No, you have to have some money. A girl can walk out. She can go talk to a guy, have a nice little conversation with him, get a couple things out of him that day, go back home, probably drunk and happy. And I'm not saying every woman is like this, but I'm just saying the capabilities. A woman is way more capable of having a great time with no money. So, like you said. But at the same time, what makes it wrong is if you don't make your intention known to that person, then you're wasting their time. And it's always going to come back to that. When you waste somebody's time, it's one of the worst things you can do because that time is not guaranteed.
Okay. What was the original question again? Just so because I had a point to make. What's the original question?
So should a woman go on a second date with a man if he's not sexually attracted?
She's not sexual.
If
She's not
It
sexually
started off
attracted.
as 3 to let you know.
Yeah. I changed it up because I
Okay.
wanted to make it more
Okay.
simple for
Okay.
you guys. That's all.
Nah, I made it more complicated because 2 is not a lot of dates. But I think
Okay,
yeah,
third.
if we said 3, yeah, nah. If you're not,
So
if
3
you're not
dates
sexually,
maximum.
yeah, if you're not sexually,
By the third date.
But are you not having sex because you're not comfortable
no,
or because you're not attracted?
no, not having sex, but sexual attraction. I think, yeah, I don't think you should go on 3 dates with somebody you don't find yourself sexually attracted to. If you're not attracted, you feel me? Ultimately, you feel me? If you're not attracted, or I think we all know we see somebody.
But sexual attraction is different. Like a girl could see you, right? And she could be physically attracted to you as far as like, oh, he looks handsome, right? But the comfortability, seeing how you move and seeing how you are, that's sexual.
That's part of it too. Yeah.
You know, attraction is a very broad thing.
That's a good point too. But I'm
That's
gonna be honest.
video.
No, I don't think anybody as a man. Maybe this is this is why I wish we had a woman here. But as a man, I never look at a girl and it's like, wow, that girl is so beautiful. I'm not sexually attracted to her.
That's
I don't
what I'm
have
saying.
sex.
No.
But
No.
if you
can
go
look
on a
at
date,
somebody,
or if you go on a date, look, first date, you are seeing this person in person, speaking to them, filling out their vibe. I feel like within that time period, you know.
Women are way different.
That's why I said I wish we had a woman. As a man, I'm just speaking from a man's perspective. If I see a girl on the first date, I usually know whether I'm sexually attracted to her or not.
Right.
On
But
instant.
how many
Literally
guys,
the
how
moment
many
we
girls be
start
like,
having
yeah, I'm with
conversation.
this guy, he's ugly, but I'm attracted to him. Like, it could be your work ethic. Girls are attracted to some of the craziest things. Sometimes they don't even think the guy looks good. It could be work ethic, his responsibility, different things. You know what I'm saying? So as you get to know someone, I could be like,
But that's what I'm saying. In 3 dates, like, it depends on how you're dating.
oh,
but
he's
I
such
don't,
a,
like I said, I can't speak on
these
this.
whole 3
I'm
3 dates, he's been such a gentleman. He opens the door for me, this and that. You know, like that kind of turns me on. That's the way
That's
of
what some
person.
that's what some of them. But I feel like with that, I feel like
It's the same way. Okay, going to guys. I'm sorry
Okay.
I'm cutting you off, but I have to say this.
Go ahead.
Going to guys. How many girls have we seen? We thought they were okay looking, right?
Yeah.
But depending on their attitude, whether they were nasty or really nice, they started looking better.
I think that's very true. But you find some of that out on the first date as a man. Like if you're asking the right questions, you get to see a lot of who a person is. You'll never find out who a person is within 3 dates.
No.
You don't know who somebody is until they're angry. Usually, like that's when you're gonna find out how they really move. Because when people are angry, you get to see the nastiest side of them. Or when they're sad, you get to see the nastiest side of them. That is a part of their character as well, not just the bullshit. But yeah, I wish we had a woman here because I can't speak on how women feel during dates. But I know as a man, or at least my opinion, this individual by individual, on a first date, as I'm speaking to you, I already know if I'm sexually attracted to you or not.
That's the point I'm saying.
Within
But that's
within
not
the
the
first
same
10
thing.
minutes.
That's just honestly from talking with women. And again, I haven't talked to a million women, but I've talked to enough to where I gathered an idea of you see girls, and they'll openly say their man is not attractive physically in the face, right? But what he does and how he carried himself, or it could just be as simple as, you know, when I was feeling down, he hit me up and said, hey, let's go do this today. Yeah. And again, I think men are capable of this. But yes, we are more like, oh, okay, she looks good, let me then go. Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's a lot more complex.
Attraction is not as simple of a topic as you making it. Like, you can't put a number on attraction. That's how I kind of feel.
And how much guys look?
But I am saying,
okay, so a girl could be like this. Look, a girl could be like this. Oh, like the first date, she could know he's sexual. Like she's like, oh, he looks good. but he's an asshole, I'm definitely not attracted to him. I'm turned off by him.
That's on the first date, though.
Second date, you can find out.
Okay,
Third date, you can find out.
So that's what I'm
You know what I'm saying?
It depends on how the date goes. You can't put everybody in the same.
Okay, but
People get second chances, third chances.
Okay, everybody's gonna put their best foot forward, going with meeting the person for the first time, of course. But I'm saying that over a course of a month, the dates aren't going to be back to back. If you go on 1, 2, 3 dates, like why are you going on the 3rd, 4th, 5th date with a person?
I agree with
knowing that you're not sexually attracted to the person.
If you saying look,
that's your waste as a man. Wait, hold on, before you go on.
You're asking me why or is it right?
Because as a man, you're the one. Okay, like I said, a woman can exit a situation if they don't have any investments. That's why I brought up what a woman puts in as an investment and what a guy puts in as an investment. You put your resources and everything in with the dates, and that just goes on what you said. Yeah, you as a man, you gotta know how to move with certain dates. But even with that, you still don't know a person's intentions and everything. So every date, you're still spending your time and your resources. And if you're spending your time and your resources and you're getting nothing back, then why are you going on more dates? It's just like any business. If you're putting your resources into a business and you're getting nothing back, you're going to pull your assets.
Now,
yeah, but you're still getting entertainment. You're still getting the sex.
Are you?
You're not okay. Sex is a part of it, right? But what I'm saying to you is, there's a reason you keep going back, and even though she didn't let you have sex, there's a reason you came back. Because you're like, yo, she's mad valid to talk to. She's cool. She's down to earth. She's this. She's that. Right? You didn't go the whole time like, maybe this time will happen. Maybe this time will happen.
No, but I'm not saying that you should go into a date expecting to have sex. But there's a certain cutoff point to where you're not getting any investment besides that.
But that's the point. That's up to you.
I think,
and I'm not saying on a man's point that you can't just leave and do that. I'm saying that you should not go on a certain amount of dates with a guy if you are not attracted to him.
Yeah.
I agree. That's agreed. That's never going to change.
And this is what happens in mass.
Look.
That's why I brought up this question.
Look, I believe.
Because I'm sure a lot of you...
They're attracted to entertainment. They're attracted to
but that entertainment is wasting your time and your resources.
And that's why
every single day.
That's why it's wrong.
Every single day, you're making a gamble. Of course. You're making a gamble.
That's not a gamble.
That is.
No. I'm saying as a woman, that's not a gamble. You're calculating.
But that's what I'm saying. There's no investment.
But we're all in
agreement
on that part.
Okay. Oh shit! This interview is getting way too long. I didn't even know this shit was getting long. We're gonna have to make a part 2 or cut this thing off. Okay, guys. Yeah, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe. And it's BQ Quick Review. You know how we do.
Even though it wasn't quick.
Mediocre. Everybody wanna be a rapper. You ain't real, but you play a role. Most of y'all pretty decent actors. I know real goons and they on the block. Hidden stain like they bleaching fabric. I'm a nice guy, but got a dark side. We could